Hey there, Four States. This is Luke Taylor, and welcome to another edition of the KNEO Community Connection here on 91.7 FM, The Word. And so today we are speaking with Doug Hall, and he's a local artist, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that he does and a recent feature in the Art of the West magazine that he's a part of. And so, hey, Doug, thanks so much for chatting with us today.
Sure. Well, thanks for the invite.
Yeah, and I'll mention too, your brother Alan, he was instrumental with Brantco in getting our new tower up a year or two ago, and so we were grateful to work for him, and so we know the Halls are good people. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and some of the work that you do?
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, my brother's a good guy. I'm an oil painter. I've painted all my life since I was probably 8 or 9, but my passion for painting's always been, I paint the Eastern Woodland Indians, French and Indian War time period, Revolutionary War time period really fascinates me. So after I did some commercial artwork and went through life's wormhole, I thought, I'm going to paint what my passion is, and if it works, it'll be great, and if not, I tried.
Uh-huh. Well, I can tell just from checking you out online a little bit that you really love what you do, and so this is definitely a passion for you, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. Yeah, I paint almost every day. I'm not today because I'm traveling, but I paint at least 6 days a week. I paint a half a day on Saturday usually, and I don't paint on Sunday. Just have a day off to not look at whatever I'm painting on, so I can see it Monday, kind of with, as they say, with fresh eyes. So, but yeah, I paint about every day.
Yep. Well, and a lot of your work seems to be Native American and historical pictures. And so can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I paint the Eastern Woodland Indians and kind of focus on the Eastern Shawnee tribe. I've read about them all my life as a little kid. I'd read about where even Daniel Boone had been captured and was adopted by Shawnee Chief Blackfish. And man, as a little kid, I always thought how fascinating that was to read that and think about that. Yeah. And now over time, what's kind of interesting, I've been blanketed by the Eastern Shawnee tribe, kind of recognized for what I do by Chief Glenna Wallace. She's the sitting chief of the Eastern Shawnee tribe. Yep. I think it was back in 2013. They blanketed me for what I do. And I always kind of wondered how they would, because I was painting the Eastern Woodland Indians before I'd ever met any of the Eastern Shawnee tribes. So I always wondered how they were going to accept what I did. And when our trails did cross, it all went well and good. And they like what I do, which is a huge honor for me.
Yeah, that I've met Glenna Wallace a few times. Well, she's actually one of my teachers back in college, but I got to.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I reconnected with her a few years ago, and she's a wonderful lady, and no, she's very popular out there with the tribe, and but that's really interesting that you've focused so much on the Eastern Shawnee tribe, and I know you kind of mentioned that you'd studied on them even from being a child, but what is it about them that you just keep coming back for more, and I don't know, keep drawing from that well? And can you tell us about that just a little bit?
Yeah, well, it's just it's a passion that just has always, all my life. I don't even know where it comes from, because I started out painting like a lot of people, a lot of scenery and a lot of ducks and geese and a lot of commercial artwork, to pay the light bill. But when I finally got a chance to paint what I wanted to paint, that was what I paint, Eastern Woodland Indians. And then where that comes from, I don't know. It's just been in my head all my life. And I read a lot. I love history. I love to read about it. So I guess what's neat for me is to read about certain things and then put it on canvas and get to see it and let other people see it. Is what's kind of neat. And see, as a painter, you can paint something and let people see what you think about. And it's a neat thing to be able to do. And I really like to be able to paint and work on a painting, and then the painting's looking back at you. The figures come alive and they're looking off the canvas at me while I'm painting them. And I love that. There's something about that that I really, really like.
Yeah, I was just looking at a lot of your pictures that you had on your website, and we'll tell people where they can go to find out more about that in a few minutes here. But as I was looking at the pictures, just the thing that kept coming back to me was, I could tell you didn't just throw this together in a few minutes. I mean, these pictures took time. How much time do you think you spend on just one picture?
Oh, gosh, I spend a lot of time. I travel a lot and photograph people around. There's lots of, what they call now, reenactments of French and Indian War, Revolutionary War. So I travel around, meet people, and photograph people. So I get that real look as opposed to just making it all up.
Okay.
And then I can once I get some real figures to work with, it just comes to life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and something else I was just thinking about as I was looking at those is they're very detailed, and I would just think, as if I were in an artist's shoes, that I would not know when to stop. I'm sure there's just always little things you can touch up and keep working on. So how do you find that point of like, okay, I got to cut it off here, Well,
that is kind of a joke amongst artists. When do you stop on a painting? Because you can just keep working on it till you destroy it. Yeah. So, and I've done that many times. Work on a painting till you just kill it. Uh-huh. You don't want to give up on it. Make it a little better. And first thing you know, you go, well, I should have left it alone 2 days ago. Now I'd like to get it back to just where it was. And
yeah.
So I try not to do that very often because I usually have deadlines. A painting's going to go somewhere. So I'm pretty, really conscious of my painting and try to, just not throw paint on canvas and hope that it works.
Mm-hmm.
When I sit down to paint, I take time to mix my paint and do my drawing and get what I need, so I don't, and then stop myself before I get to that point where I go, okay, I should have stopped a day ago.
I can, I'm not a visual artist like that. I don't have that kind of creativity, but I can understand. I do the video editing side for some different video projects we work on here for the radio station, but for some of the stuff we put online. And like you said, it's those deadlines that just kind of keep me in check.
Yeah, right.
Thank goodness for the deadlines.
That's right. It forces you to hunker down and get it done and pay attention. That's right. Not just willy-nilly and going through it. That's right.
Yeah, because otherwise I could just keep whittling away, tweaking things here and there and never be fully satisfied. But
right.
So, another thing I wanted to ask you about, sir, was the Art of the West magazine that I understand that they recently had a feature of some of your work. Can you tell us about that magazine and what they showcased?
Yeah, Art of the West magazine. They called me a few months ago, which was a great surprise. I mean, what artist wouldn't like that?
Mm-hmm.
I get a call and they talk to me about doing an interview and doing an article, which naturally I said, wow, that sounds great. I would, would love that. Well, Sure enough, they call and set up a writer, and we do it over the phone and then with a Zoom call, where there's a screen so you can see the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that. We set it up, so they did the interview and then it came out in September. So right now, September and August, I am the middle spread of the Western Art magazine, which is pretty cool. I don't know how many pages, but there's several pages and a half a dozen pieces of my art, in the center part of the magazine in an article. So. Yeah, very exciting. I mean, most artists go live and never get that. So, it was a huge thing. Now, I've had calls from friends of mine and other artists around that have seen it, so it's kind of neat to get recognized for what you do. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. So that's the August and September issue of Art of the West. And do you know if there's people around Neosho, if there's a place they can go to find that, or would they have to look online or something?
Probably any bookstore, I would think, would have it anywhere like the Barnes and Noble or Books A Million or magazine stores, and it's probably online too. I mean, it's probably an online magazine in today's world, but I think any kind of bookstore would have, you could go in and buy it.
Okay. And then also, if people just want to stay in touch with you, Doug Hall, and keep up with what you're doing, I saw you had a Facebook page, but where is it that you send people?
Well, two places. The first place, is I've got a little gallery just west of Neosho. Local people may recognize. I've got a little log cabin that sits out just past the airport. Just the log cabin art gallery, and I'm usually there in the evening time because I paint at home through the day, and I come up there so you can walk in, see some art. We've got a wood stove in the center of the cabin that we sit around, and we use it in the wintertime to heat the place. So it's kind of a little local hangout. We shoot muzzleloaders out back on Sunday. Every Sunday we shoot at 3:00 and have for all my adult life. And then for people that want to go on on a phone, you can go to, I think it's Doug Hall Art at DougHallArt.com.
Okay.
I might have made that longer than it needed to be.
DougHallArt.com there. So, I think that'd be great for people to go check out. And I'm kind of sad because being on radio here, people can't see what we're talking about, but if they do want to see it, that could be a place to go. So I really do encourage them to check it out. I think they'll find it really interesting, and it's neat to have a local artist who's capable of such things. And so I do hope people will check it out. But hey, Doug Hall,
well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us here on KNEO, and best wishes to you.
Yeah, well, thanks so much. Appreciate it.